Happy Masters of the Universe Day, all you radical dudes and dudettes. Toyshiz here, and I'm back yet again to give you guys another fun video. Today I'm going to be talking about how I actually restored an old Castle Grayskull, the original Castle Grayskull from Mattel's Masters of the Universe line, and I thought, well, what better day to really talk about this than the actual Masters of the Universe Day. And if you aren't familiar with this, way back when, 1987, you had the mayor of Los Angeles, Tom Bradley, and the Masters of the Universe Power Tour was coming through, and he declared that April 28th, every single year, it would be Masters of the Universe Day. And if you're looking up, yeah, it's totally true. Also, April 28th, well, at least this year, is School Bus Drivers Day. So, He-Man and bus drivers, thank you very much for your years of service. But you're probably saying, well, wait a minute, how does that coincide with restoring Castle Grayskull? Well, it actually goes back to when the Toys That Made Us premiered. Bong. And I just absolutely really loved the first season, especially with the He-Man episode. And I got all this kind of information, that stuff I really didn't know about. Me being not a huge Masters of the Universe fan, especially growing up, you know, Mattel created the entirety of the line, and I could have had the toys a million times over for all the garage sales I went to over the years growing up. But in kind of seeing it in a new light, especially with how the show presented it, it was fun, it was something new, and it made me think, like, yeah, I had Ghostbusters, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, He-Man. While I did have a few He-Man figures, never had the actual He-Man, Skeletor. It was always some kind of other creature, monster, something like that I ended up playing with, but had really no idea as to what it was. I even had the old Triceratops dinosaur thing from He-Man. I thought it was a dinosaur, you know what I mean? So, kind of flash forward years and years and years later, I ended up going to PowerCon 2018, and it was my first time going there. I'd heard about this convention for years, finally got to go, got to check it out for Toyshiz, and it was a blast. It was nice seeing Masters of the Universe, seeing all the people just go crazy for it, the collectors and everything else. So in seeing He-Man more up close and all that kind of stuff, I decided, you know what, I need to fix that, not get every single toy, every single figure, but at least get the castle, and then get yourself, yeah, He-Man and a Skeletor at some point. So I made a deal with myself and saying, all right, I had heard that you're going to spend a bunch of money if you get the whole thing. Why not try and piece it back together? That's another thing I said, yeah, you're crazy, don't do it. So this is the story about kind of how I pieced it all together, gradual piece by piece. So sit back, relax. This is how I reconstructed the Masters of the Universe original Mattel Castle Grayskull. So in starting off, I had watched a ton of videos, and I'll get into that in just a second, but I happened across a listing one night, and it was for just basically the shell of Castle Grayskull itself, and it was listed as a fairly good condition, and I was good with that. It came with the drawbridge, it came with the double brown platforms, and it had sort of the stickers. It did come with the trap door, although the mechanism to spring it and everything else was non-operational. Some of the stickers were still there, but they were largely torn away. And then I also got one of the chair, you know, his throne, but the peg that activates the door, that was broken. Didn't know that at the time. You know what I mean? This is what happens. But relatively got this for about 10 to 12, I think it was 12, 13 bucks. Out the door. So it was a nice buy, nice start, and just the fact that the mechanism for the drawbridge worked. I love the design on the drawbridge. It's very much Skeletor, coat of arms, something like that. But wait, hold on a second. Before we go even further, I gotta say that because of the Toys That Made Us and making me understand it a little bit better, it's the artist Mark Taylor, and of course he was in the Toys That Made Us episode for He-Man. I got to know him just a little bit better in that sense. He created the original He-Man, Skeletor, all those characters, Castle Grayskull. Of course, a lot of people were involved. I would love one of those mats still. But largely enough, all of the Castle Grayskulls seem to be the same. They took some spray paint, you know, just did the works. There are some that got a little bit less, a little bit more. Maybe there's a couple differences in deco here and there, but I think I got a good one overall, and I'm very happy with it. It's got some distresses here and there, some paint rubs. Not so much, I mean, there's nothing broken except for like the clips, you could say, but just little wears and tears that shows its age, and I like that. It shows that it was played with, it was loved at one point, and now it's mine. It belongs to me, and I like seeing that, and I like thinking of the stories that kids crafted or people craft, whoever owned this thing before. The clips on the side, one is incredibly stressed, the other one broke off completely. But again, I knew that going in, and I'm okay with it. That is just something that applies to my Castle Grayskull now. And being that I'll take good care of it, it's in an like a perfect spot. It's in my office. It's all set up. It's really nice. But I like seeing the age of toys. It tells a story. And now, after going all these years and years, whether it would be someone play with it, put in their basement, attic, something like that, this has now found its way to me, and now it's my duty to repurpose it, redo it, and get it all back together. And just seeing how they painted it with all the detail, Castle Grayskull is a very interesting playset. And while mine is still going to be always my favorite, be the Ghostbusters Firehouse, Castle Grayskull, I see the appeal of this. And when you open it up, this was largely how mine looked when I first got it, actually. But when you finalize it, when you get everything put together, all the time, all the effort, everything you put into this, it just looks so elegant. Yes, you can go on eBay right now and buy every single piece if you want, or just get the whole thing in one go. But I spent some time on this, and it was fun in the pastime to kind of sort of do this. So in talking about those videos, I watched the heck out of Retro Blasting's Masters of the Universe parts 1 and 2, like their restoration videos. Highly recommend them, awesome channel, and it just really helped me in kind of understanding things to look for, things to go over. Like with the various parts, the pieces, maybe this was 2 pieces, this was 1. I kept an eye out for a good working elevator. I didn't want to have to redo it, get the gargoyle. This is an original elevator with the original string, everything else. And just in terms of keeping, let's say, the stickers or the cardboard cutouts, that was something, the stickers-wise, I actually found the following year, 2019's PowerCon, I was able to find some reproduction stickers, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I carefully took off the original stickers, like for the trapdoor, and I still have them. They still work, but they're heavily deteriorated. Half of it's missing anyways. Slapped a brand new one, and I think it looks good. It's newish again. Original sticker actually for the chair. I popped it off the broken one, got a new chair, and reapplied it to that, so that works out. The little decal with the red bird or whatever you want to call it. I know a lot of people like to put it just behind his throne room. I didn't fix it just yet. It is a sticker. I've kind of been putting it every which way. But it's nice to see whoever owned this piece beforehand actually did the same thing. So I thought that was pretty cool. The flag, of course, that's a reproduction. You just simply folded the stickers together. You go one way or the other. But it is the original flagpole, and that's actually the best part about it. It holds it well. The sticker for the dungeon, or whatever you want to call it, such a great illustrated design. I love seeing all the creatures, the monsters. You got that bat thing up in the corner, like biting the bar, the eyes are sticking out. Try to offset it just a little bit. I'm bad enough with stickers as it is, but yeah, it works. Original gun mechanism, original platform for the top of the castle. I would say probably the hardest part was finding all of the 9 weapons, including a weapons rack that wasn't broken. A lot of times you get them, or you just see them online, people's lots or something like that. They always have a peg broken off. But the hardest one to find, of course, as everyone always says, it's totally true, was the little teeny tiny gun. That was the last piece I needed. And shout out to Mike's Vintage on Instagram. I was talking with him. He goes, oh yeah, I totally have one. And he was able to get me one out. So thank you very much again for that. You completed my Castle Grayskull. Way to go. High five. And as you can see, the back of the weapons rack, not much to it. It's just like a really thin piece of plastic, and the thing falls over all the time. I'm telling you, that's exactly right. Oddly enough, the first piece that I came across when redoing Castle Grayskull was the ladder. Those ones are pretty easy to find, although I'm seeing now a lot more as I kind of peruse through listings. They break really easily, I guess. Mine's actually pretty good, but just something to take into consideration. My drawbridge mouth was intact. Now you can put the two halves of the power sword together and it unlocks Castle Grayskull, so it worked. I want to say this though, these are reproductions, and I thought about buying old ones. They were always largely messed up, but I want to give a special shout out to Toy Polloi. Please check out their YouTube as well. Dude fixes everything. It's amazing. It's kind of cathartic just to watch his videos sometimes. But he had scans of these original cardboard pieces from Castle Grayskull, and he had the PDF file on his site. I took it to Kinko's, and voila, they printed it out. It was like 75 cents. And they put it on their thickest cardstock. It looks great. So thank you again to Toy Polloi for that. As far as the elevator goes, and then also the sparring rod, this is an original elevator. It's got the original string, gargoyle, all that good stuff. So I didn't have to mess with that. I just had to simply buy it. I bought it in a big lot. This was actually two separate pieces. It's funny that you never really see these two together. You always see the orange part or you see the gray part for this sparring rod. And apparently there's a variant, I guess, for the face. You can get a pig face or you can get a different kind of creature. But in either sense, it simply just spins. But I got a lot of these pieces from a guy whose Castle Grayskull went missing, and he had a whole box of weapons and accessories, and he sent me a photo, and I kind of did that thing. I screen grabbed it and circled this, and this. Got the trapdoor mechanism as well. Got the chair, the new chair for that lot. So it was a win-win as far as getting a whole bunch of pieces all in one go. And at some point while I was putting the castle together, I came across a couple listings. I actually got a He-Man figure, and he's got some issues with his hair, we'll just say that, but he's a cool figure. And I got him along with Battle Cat and Skeletor and everything else. So I like that, he just fits with Castle Grayskull so well, and so does Skeletor, and it's a lot of fun to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I can imagine being a kid and doing, just sending Skeletor, sending any of the vile horde, to the dungeon, something like that. He-Man will fit all around the castle, which is interesting enough. For as little articulation that he did have, you could put him on the turret gun. You can have him looking at the space suit. You can't really do anything with it. You can be like, oh, Telemic tricks tell me something like this is happening around Eternia's planet. I don't know, something like that. And he can ride the elevator up and down. As far as the weapons go, a lot of them do actually fit in his hand. And that's nice to see. Kind of, when I first got them, I thought that they were a little bit off, a little bit tiny. I was thinking like, I don't know how these are going to work. Maybe it's just for show. But sure enough, they totally do. And you can have him at the sparring post, knocking it with his power sword, things like that. But again, and just kind of stepping back after you have completed, after you put everything, all the time and effort into making this, you go, okay, well, that was a lot of fun. What do I do next? But, I'm always looking for the next thing to kind of redo, repurpose, fix, and I like doing that, especially, like I said, with old toys, and I think about all the different pieces. There's so many pieces for this. And largely, it's in seeing that this is from a dozen people's collections. All these little pieces went all around, who knows where, all over the country, the world, something like that, who knows. And they've all been brought back together to create this finalized version of what you could buy way back in the day in the 80s from Mattel. And if you were wondering, yes, the Master of the Universe, He-Man Origins, and whatever the heck this is that I got from Mexico, Master of the Universe Classics, something or other, will fit with the castle, and they do look nice together. But I'm telling you this, if you put enough time and energy into something like this, it did take me a year and 4 months, give or take, let's say this. And I did spend about $92. I think that was the final bill for the castle. I took my time. Yes, I could have gone to eBay and done it myself, but this is my way of being like, it's bringing it all back, and it's mine now. It's something that I took the time to do. Nowadays with old toys, it's more fun to find the pieces and do it in that sense. Sure, if you can get a good price and get it all in one go, by all means, but I think eventually if I came across the instruction booklet, if I came across the old box, those would be nice to have, but it's not something I'm actively searching for. And it's always when you're not actively searching that you end up finding things a lot quicker. So If I come across them, hey, you know what? That's fantastic. So this is really just to show off my new redone old Castle Grayskull. Will I be putting like the turret with the eagle and stuff on there? Maybe. You know, it's all possibilities. But I am so thoroughly satisfied with finally completing this. For as long as it took, so much fun. I got so many good memories out of it. And the people I talked to, people I dealt with, watching videos. It's all about helping each other out. And I hope that this video can help you in that sense as well. You got Retro Blasting with their fantastic videos. You had Toy Ploy with their Fix-It videos. It's amazing what you can find out so easily on the internet these days. And it helped me in really understanding, what do I look for? What do I need? And really where to kind of go and just get it done, you know? So I'm very thankful for those videos. Again, I hope this one kind of helps in the sense of, yes, their videos work, and look what I got here. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you have Castle Grayskull? Do you need to get one? Do you have the old one, the new one, something like that? Comment below. And let's talk everything He-Man for Masters of the Universe Day. I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, when it comes to toys, whether they be broken, incomplete, ragtag, what have you, if you got the time and you've got the energy, you can bring that toy back and make it better than ever. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.